Hi there. I'm going to cover um, topic how to create a WordPress plugin, specifically a Woocommers plugin. And the reason is you can hardly find one on the internet in terms of videos. On top of that, this plugin is in a way specific, as I couldn't find any resources how to create it, even outside the scope of video tutorials. So let's begin. Let's take a look what our plugin is going to function like. So this is going to be a WooCommerce plugin for two steps shipping, meaning that one shipping is going to be from the USA to a specific country, for example, Ukraine, where I'm from, and we can see this is where the user can select among two different options, shipping by air and shipping by sea from USA. And here's and that's actually a custom shipping, and this is just shipping out of box from WooCommerce. So how it's actually working, let's reload, refresh the page. Let's take a look at the page. Yeah, so the product itself costs $10 plus $40 is going to be $50, and we also add some specific sum depending on the product weight, which I'm going to cover a bit later. And so it's going to be 100 because the weight costs $50, and by default shipping by sea costs $10, so overall it's $110. If we change this, you're going to have 120. Fingers crossed. Yeah, it's working. And when we change our out-of-box shipping methods, which is inside the country, we're going to see the change here as well. Yeah, 110. All right, so let's get started with building the plugin itself. First of all, how to change the theme, because I've created all this functionality inside my functions PHP of the active theme, and we're going to changed theme, so it wouldn't work so far. I'm going to start to create a plugin. Alright, let's go to Appearance, Themes. And we see that Storefront is our active theme. Let's switch to Delhi. Here we are. And our Delhi theme is activated, and let's check this out here. Up. So we see something here, but probably I have to change to switch to another theme because I also touched this one. Sorry. Let's switch to 2019, for example. Alright, and now yeah, we have a clean checkout. And the total is 50. It doesn't have anything except the cost of the product itself and the shipping. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to go to my site folder. It's called Woocommers tests. Let's go to WP content plugins. Let's create our plugin. Let's call it WP 2 steps shipping. Alright, now let's open it with our VS Code Studio. Here we are. So usually we I have some preparations here. So usually this is just a plugin I created before. So every plugin has to have inside its folder a file which can be called the same as the folder. So we're going to create file WP2 steps shipping. Of course, it has to be a PHP file. PHP. Here we are. Right, and plugin has to have has to have its name, so it's going to be called WP 2 steps shipping, probably for Woocommers, right? For Woocommers. Woocommers. Let's save this, and my name is Swetozlav. Although these are not necessary, let's just add it anyways. But the only thing that is necessary is this line, and that's it actually. Well, so what we're going to do first, up. First, we're going to create we're going to create let me show you. Sorry, the plugin itself is not activated, so we can't see what's going on in here. So we have to activate the plugin. Let's go to the plugins tab, install plugins. And here we are. Let's activate this. No, let's take a look here. Now, hopefully everything is going to change. Yeah, we see. So we added just this select which determines by what we want our shipping, by sea or by air. This is just a view. It doesn't have any functionality so far, but this is only the first step. Now let's take a look what we actually did. We add action. The hook is called Woocommers checkout building, and we the callback is SV before building fields. And here's our callback function. It's actually very easy. You can find it on the internet. So I won't delve into it. Here we see actually options. Shipping by sea, shipping by air, and so on and so forth. Great. Well, the next step is more complicated, I guess. And this is going to be adding Ajax on this select, right? So we could use our JavaScript to make changes here, Right, so far we don't see any changes. As you see, this is why we have to use JavaScript and Ajax. So how are we going to do this? First of all, we have to enqueue our script. This is well documented as well. So we have added add action with the hook WP enqueue scripts and the callback, which is randomly called APF enqueue scripts. And here's our callback. So we actually enqueue script, so it has to be here. And localize script. Localizing means that we pass some data to our JavaScript file. So this data is going to be called Ajax URL in our JavaScript file, and it's going to hold this value, admin URL, with the argument of admin Ajax. This is just a common thing to do when you want to include JavaScript. JavaScript. And we have to obviously create our JavaScript file. It's going to be called, it's here, APF1.js. Here we are. Sorry, APF.js. Oops. So we have to change the name here as well. Now let's take a look at the way our APF.js looks like. Actually, there are a couple of things that are necessary that I experimented with, and I came up with a different approach. All right, so what do we have here? So obviously, we have to start with declare document ready function. It triggers our code only after the document is ready, all the HTML elements are loaded. Then we call Ajax. With the type of post, URL, APF Ajax URL. Let me remind you where we got this from. We're getting it from here. Yeah. All right, and then we have to set data. The first field is going to be action, and it's going to be called Ajax form. And the second is going to be field 1, and it's going to be the value oops, of the option we are selecting. And then we are sending hash, but in our case it's not necessary, so I am going to delete this one. So we're going to delete this as well. It was a different approach. All right. And let's get started from this, I believe. So this function works as soon as document loads. And let's check if it's working now. So we refresh the page, and as we see, here we have the console log, and something is going wrong. No, everything's working fine. No, failed to load resource, APF, JS. Something is wrong. Why is that so? Seems like I know why. Because we have to specify the folder. The folder here is different, the root folder, I mean. So just a second. Here we are. Let me take a look at the plugin I've created before to make sure that we are entering scripts properly. Here we are. Yep. So we have to define this APF as URL because we are using it in here. Now I'm going to copy this, go back here, and here, save this, and let's check this out now. Oops. Something went wrong again. Mixed content on the page. Numbers was loaded over a specified request and in secure script. This request has been blocked. The content must be served over HTTPS. And I have a clue why it's acting like this. Also have very weird. Very weird. Refresh. It's pretty much the same. Right, what about trying this in another browser? Maybe we want to encounter this problem. Okay. So let's go to shop probably. Yep, let's buy this product. Choose an option, add to cart. View cart. And let's go to profit to checkout. Now let's take a look at the console log. Hopefully this time we have pretty much the same. Alright, let's find the reason behind this on the internet. How to Right, so I guess the problem is in here. So our APF URL is given as HTTP. HTTP address, and we need HTTPS address. Okay, so what we are going to do is to to change it a little bit, just to have a workaround, I guess. And so we're going to do something like that. Oops. And WP content then plugins, then WP to steps shipping. Alright, let's try it right now. Yeah, now we don't have any issue, but we don't have we don't see our console log message. It's quite weird. Let's check it with alert. Alert works. The first page. It's pretty much the same. No. We don't have to specify the name of the plugin folder in here. Oops. Pretty much obvious. No, everything should be working. Cool. Yep, everything's working. Great, and we have our console log. Let's take a look what it is. This is cookies. I'm sorry. Document cookie, it shows us all the cookies we have. Let's get rid of this alert. And all right. So what we're going to do next is now we have to process this data in our PHP file. How are we going to do this? We have to create a function called, where the action is called Ajax form. So we're going to go to our preparation file and yep, here's this function. Okay. So what actually we are doing here? First of all, the function has to be called, as I already mentioned, the same as the action. Then we have to add action to this function. It has to be called. It has to have add actions. The hook should be called WP Ajax, and underscore and the name of our function, and the second parameter is going to be called pretty much the same as the name of the function. And here we have to add pretty much the same, except here we have to add this non-priv. This is for front end and this is for admin. Then what we are doing inside our function, first of all, we are declaring the global PDB variable, which allows us to execute our database queries. Then what we are going to do is we are getting a hash session cookie. How are you going to do this? Just with this. We get all the cookies. This is the array of the cookies, and we check if the cookie, if the number of characters of the cookie is 59. It means that this is the cookie called Woocommers session hash. Unfortunately, we can't see it in here with JavaScript. I don't know why, by the way. If you have any ideas, you're welcome to comment. And by the way, you're welcome to comment and notify me if I'm doing something not in a correct way, because this is quite an experimental thing so far. All right, so let's go back here, and then we're going to have variable hash, which is going to be called, which is going to be holding our hash. And then we are getting our post field 1 from our Ajax. It's here, field 1, you see. And we actually, for WP DB insert, we insert this this value into our database, which is going to be called my plugin table, and the array is going to hold 2 values. But of course, we're going to have it it doesn't give us anything, because the value is not set by default, right? So we have to get this information on selecting some options. So what we're going to do next is we're going to have this jQuery. Oops, sorry. Boom, 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 boom. Like this. And function. Let's get going here and here. And this time it's going to do that on change of our options. So if we click here, if we refresh the page, now we are not going to see anything here. That's right, but as soon as we check anything, we are going to get what we need. Great. And so let's take a look at our database. Hopefully we can create one and check if we have if things is being reflecting our changes. So I'm going to delete all the data, all the information in the database, so you could make sure that everything is working fine. Yep. There's plenty of data here. All right, here we are. So it's empty, as you can see. Right, and let's make sure that everything is working fine. Yeah, we got success, meaning that we're going to have this data in here. Yep, absolutely. So we have some ID, the hash, and the value. The value is 10, as you can see. Yeah, pretty much that. And now it's going to be 20. Right. And the next thing is going to be building another jQuery. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it's necessary. Let me check this out. No, that's not necessary. Okay, so what this is going to be? This is going to be a function which is going to be hooked to wait a second. Yeah, which is going to be hooked to Woocommers after calculate total. So our changes would be reflected on our total, because so far they are not. You see. All right. So let me take a look at the code. So what this is the callback actually, which is finding here. Probably we will avoid this so far as this mate dependency here. So we're gonna have yep. We are need this as well. So far, so we're getting so we're declaring the same global variable WPDB to work with our database, and we define the cookie the same way, and we're getting pretty much the same cookie, pretty much the same setting hash, and then we're selecting from our database the setting value and where the setting name is hash. It should be the last one, ordered by ID, descendant limit 1. Then what we actually do next is we change the card total here. So it's going to be total card total plus this variable. And in case it's not set, for example, when the page only loads, we need, and we don't have a default value, we will set it to 10, knowing then the first value is 10. And let's see whether it's going to work now. Yep, it's working. You see, it's 70 now. And if we change it to 20, it's going to be 70. If we change it to 10, it's going to be 60. So everything is working except one thing. I'm not sure why it was 70 at first. Now it's 60. That's right. So all the time it should be 60 at the page refresh. Now it's 17. That's right, and now refresh the page again. And it's still 70. So it's taken, yeah, that's right, it's taken from the hash. From the table again, because the hash is set. And in case it was for the first time with a certain hash, it would be 60. Hopefully everything is understandable. Everything is working now perfectly. It's changing as well, hopefully, yeah. And everything is working the way we want it to work. So that's it for now. Hopefully it was useful. Don't hesitate to drop me questions, so on and so forth. And see you. Take care.